Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tudohoyani. The pressure is mounting on Judge Ratha to retract the words that he uttered in court last week. Those disparaging remarks have not gone unnoticed. Parliament, I understand, is also demanding an explanation from Judge Ratha for him to explain those unfortunate remarks which he made in court and which have shocked everybody. Now, other organizations like the Pan-African Bar Association of Southern Africa have joined the fray. They have joined the queue to say enough is enough. This sort of conduct cannot be tolerated. Now, I would like to read you a media statement, which I must warn you is rather lengthy, that has been issued by Pabasa following this incident, just to show how the pressure is mounting from practically all quarters. Let me read you what the Pabasa statement says, verbatim, word for word, as it was released to the media. The statement is on a Pabasa letterhead, Pan-African Bar Association of South Africa, and it is dated the 6th of June, 2025. And simply says, Pabasa, it is entitled Pabasa Statement on Judge Mokgatling's Remarks, and begins as follows. The Pan-African Bar Association of South Africa, Pabasa, expresses its displeasure at the remarks made by Judge Ratha Mokgatling during the proceedings in court on June 5th, 2025. They are most regrettable as they constitute a dangerous generalization about the black people who continue to face discrimination and prejudice. He is perfectly entitled to deny a request by a legal practitioner and even to be upset as he may have been. However, his racist generalizations have no place in the judiciary and were unnecessary. While he is now celebrated by racists across the country and our profession for confirming their long-held belief about black people, he will be recorded in the footnotes of history as having deepened and justified a very painful African experience, sacrificing his own people at the altar of seeking white validation. It is for the second time that Judge Mokgatle makes such statements. We accept, as we must, that black inferiority and white superiority may be his belief, about which we can do nothing. However, we call on him to exercise restraint when occupying judicial office and exercising judicial functions. The matter concerned the court and Advocate Mnisi, and not blacks, as Judge Mokgatling elected to say. It required the judge to either deny or grant the request. We are not even entering the debate about the merits of the request because such merits are entirely in the province of the judge presiding. Nothing in the request, however, engaged blacks, in inverted commas, as he called them, or his obvious adoration for white lawyers. It was a simple matter about which a judicial officer should have determined without violating the Constitution by making racist remarks. Pabasa does not contain disrespect towards any court or judicial officer, and will always implore legal practitioners to be respectful in their rigor in the courtroom. However, respect is carried and must not be demanded by officers who do not give it to fellow human beings. As he made reference to both the judge president and the deputy judge president, we remind him that both Judge President Mlambo and Deputy President Ledwaba maintain the highest standards of etiquette in how they deal with people. They have never, even in their firm approach, resorted to insult, let alone racism. It also at the bottom there, the letter at the bottom there has officials of Pabasa, the National Executive Council of Pabasa, and I see the national person is Ms. Kakani, SC. I think this is Moses Kakani, the senior counsel, the deputy chairperson there. And Jiba, the secretary, is Dalimpofu. SC, the deputy secretary, is F. Karachi. Finance is vacant, and other positions there. So all in all, this is basically what the letter goes on to say. But let me take it a bit further, because it seems to continue down here. Ironically, it escaped Judge Mokhatling in his anti-black rage that sitting in that courtroom were other black lawyers who have maintained the highest standard of etiquette during the proceedings. His dispute with one legal practitioner and his own self-hate did not have to play themselves out in that way, or involve blacks, or his admiration for white lawyers. We call upon the Judicial Service Commission and the Judge President to consider the impact of Judge Mokhatling's statement on the reputation of the judiciary, which always demands respect from society and legal practitioners. This time, one of their own, in a fit of anti-black rage, held racist prejudice at the entire black race and legal practitioners in a matter that concerned a simple request he was entitled to either grant or deny. We call upon Judge Mokhatling, as he directs his caustic tongue at black legal practitioners, to reflect on the meaning and impact of his remarks. As the judiciary constantly and correctly demands respect and etiquette, it must lead by example in this regard. Respect is earned and not demanded. So the letter has been issued by the Pabasa National Executive Council, and the Secretary General there is indicated as Mr. Mpofu Dalimpofu as Senior Counsel, and Deputy Secretary General is Advocate Fazana Karachi. That is the media statement that Pabasa has issued. You see, it is very encouraging that this statement touches on a number of fundamental issues. You see, that issue that Judge Ratha was faced with in court concerned him and Advocate Munisi. And like Pabasa rightly points out, he could have just simply refused that request by Advocate Munisi to have Monday off, in a much more dignified manner. Even if he was opposed to or was not inclined towards granting time off for Advocate Munisi, this kind of, blanket outreach against black people in general, Pabasa warns, is dangerous. And another issue that I picked up from the Pabasa letter is respect is earned, it's not demanded. Judge Ratha cannot, expect the public and lawyers to respect him when he keeps on constantly attracting to himself this negative publicity, which casts aspersions about his own agenda or his whole being, because this is a serious thing. How does a black person spout, or say such derogatory things about black people and black lawyers in general? The Pabasa is right. This is self-hate. But you see, whatever views Pabasa says he holds, they are perhaps left best. They are best left to himself, because he holds a high judicial office, and his conduct must be exemplary. And the conduct we saw in that courtroom was simply not good enough. Having said that, I really hope that something is done as a matter of agency by, among other people, the Judge President of the Gauteng Division. This is a serious matter. It cannot just be brushed away, as if I don't even know what to compare it to. It is no small issue, and has to be dealt with, with the seriousness that it has attracted, and the seriousness, and it requires a serious response. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video, and please have a wonderful, wonderful